Hi everyone. For my fieldwork intervention assignment, I will be intervening in the area of the academic and cognitive areas. And the student I have been observing will be starting the intervention with is in our mild to moderate program. He is currently failing 3 out of his 5 classes, so that's why I decided to target the academic area for him. Part of the reason he is failing his classes is his lack of on-task behavior, and as a result of that off-task behavior, he is not completing much of his work. When in class, I've observed various behaviors that prohibit him from completing work. One, he engages in off-task behaviors like going on different websites when they're using the computers, or reading his own graphic novel instead of following along with whatever the class is reading. He also just puts his head down and sleeps, or pretends to sleep to avoid work. Other times he'll sit in his chair and just rock and not do anything with the class. The evidence-based practice that I will be implementing is self-management. Self-management is a practice that works to teach students how to self-regulate, self-monitor, and self-reflect on their own behavior and learning. The reason I am choosing this evidence-based practice is the student is going into high school next year, and in order to be more successful, he's going to need to be more independent and taking care of his own learning. The education specialists in high school are not as hands-on as they are in middle school from what I've observed. And so he's going to need to learn to self-regulate and self-monitor himself in order to be successful. Also in high school, grades become more important because you need them for credit to graduate. And so he will have to be more on top of his failing grades and making sure he's completing his work so that he can pass. The way I plan to ensure fidelity of implementation is to first identify the specific behavior to target, which I kind of already have. Next, I'm going to determine the reinforcements to use with this evidence-based practice. I know the student pretty well. We've been working 4 years together, and so I have a variety of reinforcements that we've used in the past for other interventions we have tried. Before he starts tracking himself, I will take baseline data to see what the initial criterion should be for setting what the reinforcement, when he gets his reinforcement. And then once all that prep is done, I will choose the appropriate tracking device for him, one that he can easily handle, but also makes sure it's targeting the on-task part. Then the teaching begins. I'll teach the student how to discriminate the behavior between the on-task and off-task. I will teach him how to record the behavior, and then also how to give himself the reinforcement if he earns it. During the beginning phase, I will also need to provide cues for the student to record his behavior, and along with the other teachers and having them collaborate with checking for accuracy to see how he's doing with the tracking. Hopefully this will enable the intervention to be implemented with fidelity.